Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world today. I'm back. I couldn't stay away. So, I do want to thank those of you that have had a chance to um, share your feedback with the poll that I posted on my social media about how frequently you might like to see these messages come through. So, thank you, Sydney Ann and Tanya. There are two Ambers that have been following this series that I want to thank as well, and Rustin. Um, and there was a voter on my YouTube poll that I'm not sure who you are, but I appreciate that. So the majority vote is for every other day. I initially had been guided to move this into a weekly series, and that was the YouTube vote. And one of you also had a really beautiful um, reflection on how every day there's a lot of information that's coming through, and it's kind of hard to integrate at a pace that feels comfortable. And I definitely get that, which is why I think I was moving into that once a week thought. What I've decided to do at this point is continue to welcome your feedback on frequency of wanting to receive these messages, and just from day to day, tune in and be guided on when to pull the next card. I'll do that for probably about a week and see how that feels. Check in with myself and see how that feels. So I was missing the animals, I was missing you guys. So I did pull a card for today. Today is Friday, January 2nd, 2026, and Giraffe Spirit wants to hang out with us today. So, Giraffe Spirit wants us to see the big picture. Giraffe Spirit. They have such beautiful, gentle eyes. So, Giraffe Spirit seeing the big picture. So, two main impressions coming through with this one. So, seeing this year ahead, 2026, seeing this year ahead through a holistic, WHOL, holistic perspective, through the eyes of our soul, through the eyes of our higher consciousness, that integrated higher consciousness wisdom that we have been cultivating. So, seeing that bigger picture of our visions, our desires, our goals, our intentions, our inspirations, and working on manifesting those from that heart centered place, that place of wanting to be of service, recognizing our gifts and abilities and what we can offer to the world, and seeing that bigger picture and putting those pieces together of that bigger picture puzzle. So, this is the affirmative part of this message is the recognition of the healing and um, work that we've done, healing and cultivating our new frameworks, our new definitions of ourselves, and that's part of seeing that bigger picture in this 2026 year. And the other part of the message here from Giraffe Spirit wants to encourage us to continue to keep that big picture perspective on our healing as well. So, in all dimensional aspects of ourselves, in all ways. So, there's the energetics that we work on, we're releasing those constructs and mindsets and frameworks and pre and inherent biases, and we're releasing all of those things. We're redefining ourselves and those frameworks and stepping into those. Giraffe Spirit wants to encourage us to be courageous um, about stepping into those new definitions that we're creating for ourselves, those new normals that we're creating for ourselves, and also to continue to work on the stuff that we tend to want to avoid, the patterns and things that are really deeply rooted, the traumas and things that are really deeply rooted. Continue working on that shadow work, and also continue working on the 3D realm, right? So, a lot of times on a spiritual journey, there's a lot of focus on connecting in with that fifth dimensional higher consciousness wisdom, and we don't want to forget about our human bodies. We don't want to leave them behind. Our human bodies, our humanness wants to come with us on our ascension journeys, wants to be with us as a supportive partner on our path and purpose, and wants to do that in a way that is healthy and aligned and symbiotic and beneficial and nurturing as well. So, Giraffe Spirit wants us to remember that when we're working on seeing that bigger picture um, from that healing perspective, to make sure that we're tuning into our physical bodies, our human experience, and checking in. And, sometimes that can literally just be checking in and tuning in a still point, in a quiet moment, whether it's intentionally in a meditative way or not, and just asking, hey, physical body, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I'm going to continue to do my best to take care of you. Is there anything else that I can do for you today in this moment? In whatever words feel aligned for you, whatever way feels aligned for you, that's kind of typically how I tune in. Um, when my spiritual teacher, um, Nancy Rebecca, when she, in her practice, what she encourages us to do when we start getting our energy set for meditation, she encourages us to say hello, not only to our higher wise selves, our higher consciousness, our soul's light, our spirit, but to also greet our human body and say hello to our human body and appreciate the the um, the humanness that is part of our whole selves. WHOLE, our whole selves. So Giraffe Spirit wants to hang out with us to help remind us to see the bigger picture, not only with our viewpoint of a perspective of looking at this year ahead through our integrated eyes of our soul, our higher consciousness, are integrated with our humanness, but also to remember seeing the bigger picture with our healing process as well, not forgetting about all of the dimensions of ourselves, and don't forget to bring our humanness along for the ride. Our human body wants to experience this as well. So sometimes that looks like slowing down some of the spiritual ascension that happens, because that can happen rather quickly, and the human body needs it to be a little bit slower. So it's a slower vibrational frequency of that dimension. So sometimes we just need to intend to just slow down just enough for our human body to really experience um, the ascension journey as well. All right. So those are the messages coming through from Giraffe Spirit. Thank you, Giraffe Spirit. And I know I did pull Wolf Spirit on December 31st. So I wanted to share a couple of reflections, or at least one reflection for myself about Wolf Spirit. How was it for you all spending a couple of days with Wolf Spirit? I just love Wolf Spirit's message of turning knowledge into wisdom, turning knowledge into wisdom. So again, that's exactly what we're doing, as we integrate that higher consciousness wisdom into our everyday lives, into our human experiences as these beautiful souls having these human experiences, learning these lessons, growing, ascending, finding our true path and purpose, um, finding ways to um, share our gifts and abilities and vision with the world. So, Wolf Spirit for me was reminding me um, how much I enjoy being joyful about life. I know that might sound a little, I don't know, but it, you know, Wolf Spirit really helped me to remember that I do have that capacity to be able to take those, life lessons, to really think about those turning points, those epiphanies, um, whether they be relative to something light, uplifting, happy, joyful, or whether it's regarding some of the heavier stuff, like, moving through some of the grief and some of the challenges, some of the triggers. Um, I really do have the capacity to glean from those reflections the knowledge that I can then embody into a heart centered wisdom that I will carry going forward. That spiritual lesson, the embodiment of that, I can carry that forward. So I thank Wolf Spirit for reminding me that I do have that ability and that capacity to do that. We all have that capacities within us, to do that at our own pace, um, and on our own divine timing. So, all right. So, Friday, January 2nd, 2026, Giraffe Spirit wants to hang out with us. So, I think what I'm going to do is, after I end this recording, live call, I'll just tune into Giraffe Spirit and see how long Giraffe wants to hang out with us. And maybe it'll be a couple of days, maybe it'll be just for a day, maybe it'll be for a week, we'll see. And just move through that a little bit more organically for now, and take it from there. But again, I do sincerely appreciate those who've shared their perspective. I did miss doing this yesterday, but I also want to consider my intentions of wanting to be supportive and helpful for you all, and share this in a way that is easily integrated in your life experiences. And, again, just a reminder as well that regardless of when I pull the next oracle, animal oracle, follow your divine higher consciousness wisdom and sit with whether or not you need to actually spend more time with a spirit animal than another, even if that's going back to some of the other spirit animals that have been pulled, and inviting them to join you again for another day or another couple of days or another week or whatever is aligned for you. So thank you so much, everyone. Again, Happy New Year, peace and blessings. I'm wishing everyone a really, really happy, prosperous, joyful, blessed, healing new year as we move through this next year of 2026. All right. See you next time.